Aren't you sometimes dissatisfied with the way you speak English? Aren't you getting frustrated with it? You may find it difficult to understand native speakers because they speak so fast. You feel your vocabulary is limited. You know that you make a lot of mistakes when you speak or write. And you just cannot express your ideas in English, which is really getting you down. But deep down you know your English could be much better. And you often dream about it. In your dreams, you can actually speak English very well. In your dreams, you can use English for socializing, you can express your thoughts and ideas and talk to people on the phone, and if you're angry with someone, you can even argue in English. In your dreams, you feel confident around others and talk to people with ease. You can take part in discussions. In your dreams you can relax and even enjoy public speaking. Why not? But dreams are only dreams. The sad reality, however, is very much different from your dreams. So what is the reality? You are saying to yourself, actually, I can't express my thoughts in English and I can't face people with confidence. Taking part in discussions? No way! Not for me, thank you. Because the thing is that I'm actually afraid to speak English. And you could be saying to yourself, will I ever be good at English? It seems like something that will never happen. Dreams may be beautiful, but dreams are only dreams. Soon they wither and die like autumn leaves. So perhaps it's better to face reality and give up. But the idea of giving up learning English doesn't make you happy. Because when you think about your life without English, you feel something is missing and then you realize English is actually important to you. Every time you work with a computer, it seems to be telling you, learn English. Every time you study something, your inner voice is telling you, learn English. Every time you think about your career, something is telling you, learn English. So what will you do about that? Will you give up learning English? No, you won't, because the knowledge of the language is something important in your life, and you never give up on things which are important to you. So, you must do something about it. Now, which way to go? If you have been learning English for a long time and it hasn't produced positive results, don't go the same way. Why? Because it must be the wrong way, and you cannot expect different results if you do the same thing. If you want different results, you must choose a different way. If you want positive results, you must choose the right way. If you want to learn English at an advanced level and develop high proficiency in the language, you must do one thing. You must take a comprehensive approach to learning English. If you do that, your language skills will dramatically improve and you will no longer be ashamed of your English. On the contrary, you'll be proud of it. Before I explain what I mean by comprehensive approach, I want to give a little illustration. Let's suppose you want to have a strong and healthy body. Let's say you want to be fit and healthy. What do you need to achieve that? A good diet and exercise, of course. Now, what will happen if you eat a good diet but you don't exercise? Will you be fit and healthy? Rather not. And what will happen if you exercise but your diet is very, very poor and you do not provide your body with all the necessary nutrients? Will you feel and look great? Rather not. What is the recipe for success then? You must both have a good diet and you must exercise. You must have balance. And this is where many learners of English fail and they lose their balance. They either keep listening to English or reading in English, but they don't speak and they don't write. They develop passive understanding of the language, but they don't practice expression. It's like someone who only eats, but never takes exercise. What does it lead to? Frustration, of course. Others try to speak English a lot, which is very good, but they never read in English and they don't listen much, which is not very good, and they have problems understanding English. It's like someone who only exercises but doesn't eat enough, doesn't provide the body with the fuel for exercise, and the body is too weak to exercise. What does it lead to? Frustration, of course. But it doesn't have to be that way. If you take a comprehensive approach, a balanced approach to learning, you will no longer be frustrated with your English because you will know you are making steady progress. Now, in order to implement a comprehensive approach, you need to take 3 simple steps. Step 1. Listen to English and read in English. It's like taking in food, absorbing it. Step 2. You must understand what you read and what you listen to. It's like digesting the food and getting energy from it. Step 3. Put your knowledge into practice through speaking and writing. It's like using the energy from your food for exercise. When you take a comprehensive approach to learning, you combine your passive and active language skills. When you listen and read, you process someone else's thoughts, and you develop your passive skills. When you speak and write, you express your own thoughts, and you develop your active skills. So when you study comprehensively, you combine understanding with expression. Understanding is crucial. You have to understand. You have to know how English works. But you must learn how to use that knowledge in practice. You must express your thoughts in speaking and in writing. And this is where many learners of English make a mistake which could easily be avoided. I will give you one practical illustration. Let's suppose you have read a book in English and you expect that this will somehow enrich your language expression. Now, if you haven't talked to anybody about the book, haven't discussed it with anyone, or haven't written anything about it like a summary or an article, it will not greatly improve your active skills. A little perhaps, but not very much. So how do you go about it? After you've read a book or an interesting article, talk to someone about it, write about it. Yes, it requires effort, just like exercise, but this will strengthen your language muscles and improve your active skills, and you will be able to express your own thoughts better and better. Also, it's best done while you're reading it, or soon after reading it, when the content of the book is still fresh in your memory. In other words, you must do something with it. Reading books is something very positive for your language skills development, but if you want some of the language that is used in the book to become your own active language, you must do something with it. What happens if you eat a lot and you don't take exercise? Your body will store up fat and you will become overweight. What does it lead to? Frustration, of course. You will not build a strong and healthy body if you only consume a lot of food. And you will not gain an active knowledge of English if you only absorb a lot of language through listening and reading. But the good news is you will certainly build a strong and healthy body if you combine good diet and exercise, and you will certainly gain an active knowledge of English if you combine understanding of the language with expression. Now a quick recap. To succeed in applying a comprehensive approach to learning English, you must take 3 simple steps. Have a balanced and varied language diet, understand the new language that you are exposed to, and practice expression in speaking and writing. Sounds pretty simple, but there is some work to be done. You must take responsibility for organizing your learning. You must put yourself on a well-balanced language diet. You must make sure you perfectly understand the language that you hear and read, and you must discipline yourself to practice expression in English. Every day on a language diet. Yes, you can prepare your language food yourself. In other words, you must cook for yourself. Yes, it requires effort and discipline on your part, but it's not difficult, is it? Well, if you think it is difficult, you can always find a cook. If you don't want to cook for yourself, find someone who will do it for you. Simple. If you're totally independent, you can take your language learning into your own hands, and that's wonderful. If you need help, no problem. You shouldn't feel guilty about it. You just need to find someone who will be able to help you. Now, a person who will be able to help you, who can cook your language meals, help you with understanding and help you develop your speaking and writing skills is called a teacher. Actually, a good teacher is someone who will be a nutritionist, a cook, and a coach in one person. So if you need someone like that, just find them. But you will say, how can I find a good teacher? It is difficult. I had a very bad teacher in the past. Now, when you meet the right teacher, you will just know it. But you will ask me, how will I know it? I'll tell you how. There is something missing in your language experience, something that you worry about. And your new teacher will have it and give it to you, and it will be a perfect fit. It's that simple. When you meet the right teacher, you will know it in your heart. Perhaps you were afraid to speak English. Perhaps you had a bad teacher. Perhaps everybody was blaming you for not being good at English. Perhaps you were learning English the wrong way and you felt something was missing. It's time to forget about the past. It's time to take action and organize your learning. It's time to take your language study into your own hands. It's time to go the right way. It's time to take a comprehensive approach to learning English. When you take a comprehensive approach to studying English, striking the right balance between passive and active skills, and perfectly combining understanding with expression, you will no longer be afraid to speak English, because you will be making steady progress. So don't give up on your dreams, but turn your dreams into reality. Take a comprehensive approach to learning the language to become highly proficient in English. Once you do that, your English will quickly improve. You will soon be able to use English for socializing, you will be able to express your thoughts and ideas and talk to people on the phone, and if you are angry with someone, you will even be able to argue in English. You will feel confident around others and talk to people with ease. You will take part in discussions. You will be able to relax and even enjoy public speaking, because you have turned your dreams into reality. You will develop excellent communication skills and become so fluent in the language that you can easily study in English and even graduate from university. And it's not a dream, it's reality. Just imagine, you are fluent in English and there are no more limitations, because you can use English with confidence and fully enjoy the freedom it gives you. Yes, it's possible. You can do it.